With so much content out there, how do you know what to listen to?
Tune in to hear from people and culture experts.
And our thoughts on what's trending in the workforce.
All this in 5 minutes or less. I'm Eric Ryu.
I'm Heather Larson, and this is The Latest.
Let's go.
Welcome back to The Latest. We're excited to have Alok Deshpande here today, the CEO of SmartPath.
After successful career consulting, Alok launched SmartPath, a financial wellness platform focused on helping Main Street families get on track with their money. SmartPath has a passion for helping people in their pursuit to financial health. But let's start with defining financial wellness. What does that mean to you?
Sure. Yeah. So obviously this term gets used a lot right now in the marketplace. I suspect that that's going to continue into 2023. The way I look at it is financial wellness is basically, does an individual have control to dictate their financial future? And what things does that person need to have that control, right? And that's not just based on wage. Obviously, that's a big piece of it. But there's several elements around how can you make sure somebody feels in control of their financial future. And so I know we're going to get into a lot of different things, but that's where I'd start my definition. It is not a singular product. It's not a singular program, but ultimately that's the objective.
Okay, so they have control of their financial health, if you will.
Yeah.
So what is the latest in financial wellness or financial guidance?
Yeah. So I think there's I kind of look at the world in two different ways. First, what's happening in the world of personal finance, period. And there has been a massive proliferation of financial technology. So things like buy now, pay later, different types of loan programs where you can borrow against the equity of your car. Which these things sound crazy. I'm telling you that this stuff the way you make payments has exploded. It's easy to send money with a click without seeing the cash leave your hand. So we got all of this innovation that hopefully for long term is good. That's the headwind of what's happening in the world. On the employer side, what you see is I kind of look at a few different buckets when I think of financial health and wellness for employers. One of those is a series of dashboards. People think, I can help employees have better control by showing them things and showing them information on a dashboard, organizing that information in a way that's understandable. There's some validity there. The second is classes, coaching, literacy. High schools do not teach. We're seeing more of that, but they do not teach personal finance. And the idea that you should have learned it from your parents is a great idea, right? As a father myself, I do teach this. However, that's not normal for most people. They didn't learn it at home. So financial literacy and then coaching, financial coaching, I would consider that like the primary care physician of personal finance. That's how we look at it. The quarterback that can help people decide which of these things do I need and not. The third area are point solutions. The early wage access, loan programs, savings accounts, you name it, there's tons of point solutions. And I think the last one, but the most important, hands down, is the compensation and benefits and retirement that's already provided. Making sure that people are taking advantage of what you're already doing. I don't think employers get enough credit for the fact that just their core, how they pay, the benefits they provide, and the retirement plan, that in and of itself is the buoy for people's financial health. And from there, you're adding on a few things to help them make the most of it. So,
Interesting. So financial wellness is an emerging trend, especially in the last couple of turbulent years, right? So when you sit down with an HR leader, people leader, what are some of the challenges they're seeing with their employees?
Well, I think with the obviously the times of inflation that we've just seen and a market decline that happened kind of simultaneously, they're seeing people that their costs are going up, wages cannot keep pace. They haven't kept pace in 35 years. So the idea that they can't keep pace now shouldn't be understood. And I think employees are struggling with that. They're struggling with, how do I reset my budget to a new basket of goods that cost me a whole lot more than they did before? How do I reset my budget to rising rents when I've got to live in an area that I can get to work? And so I think that what they're finding, especially on the employees that are more like hourly populations, you're finding that they are hearing this from their employees. They don't know how to solve it. And honestly, I don't know if there is a single solution. So, I don't want to leave everybody hanging, but I think that there's an element here of, that's a problem, let's go solve.
No silver bullet.
They're not even close.
Spoiler alert, you have to do a lot. So a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck, and employers are evaluating all the options in the market. What is their responsibility here?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think employers are struggling with that. And I've seen, especially executives, it's like, every time I get pitched, I feel like, well, I should offer that too, and maybe I should offer this. Ultimately, I think that there's the biggest thing employers should be able to provide, in our opinion, is number one, the literacy, the information that says, here's how you do things. Like, assume people don't know. And then secondly, somebody to talk to help get done. And there'll be a small percentage of people who take advantage, but those will be the ones who see monumental change in their financial life because they were ready for it. So I think the employer's responsibility starts there, in addition to comp and benefits. And then on top of that, you could offer potential financial products, especially larger employers who have a way that they can sway a relationship with a bank.
Well, this has been incredibly insightful. Obviously, you're an expert in your space, but you're also very passionate about this. So a 10-year run in SmartPath. We will link Alok's profile in the comments and link to SmartPath as well. We appreciate you, and we appreciate you tuning in. Thank you.